Hey folks, joining on Local Survival. So today I want to talk about how to conserve resources in a survival situation. One of them, especially towards fire making, is charred material. Now I'm not talking about cotton material solely, I'm talking about plant-based or wood material. Alright folks, so besides getting our punk wood material from the dead pine tree that was standing up that we showed in the beginning of the video, we're going to come out here and build a fire. Now personally what I like to do with my fires, works for me, is just getting a bunch of dead pine branches, breaking them down. You guys know the drill. Pencil lead size, pencil size, so on and so forth, with a fire lay in the bottom of the floor to help protect it, so on and so forth. You guys get it. I'm going to start a fire with that. And then when it's about halfway through burnt down, hot bed of coals, I'm going to start splitting up some maple wood. You want to introduce some hardwood in there, okay? Nice thin slabs, kind of get that nice long-lasting fire going, right? Now, hardwood is better for cooking, it's better for longevity or fire in general, but in this case it's also better for charring material. Now, in order to char material, you want a metal container of some kind. Yes, you can use a canteen cup and a lid, your water bottle and a lid of some kind that's metal, it's not going to melt in a fire, so on and so forth, something like that, okay? In this case, I like using this tobacco tin. I've had this for a number of years now, but I like this because not only is it a charring tin, but it also doubles for my pocket fishing kit as well. So again, dual purpose. You guys can see the mentality here. We're carrying less stuff, doing more with what we have. Now, on top of that, we want to poke a hole in the top here. Small hole, doesn't really matter how big per se, maybe like a nail size, like a 16D nail puncture hole, works fine. This is just a all puncture from my Super Tool 300. That's all what it is. Now, this lid we want it to sit on here tight. We don't want it loosey-goose. We want to be able to screw it down or kind of have it lock in place so it's not going to let air in as easily. The char material, or material to be charred inside here, again, punk wood from that dead pine, I broke this down from pinky finger, half pinky finger size, all the way down to thickness or width of my pinky nail. You guys know I'm a fan of using my body measure stuff. Now why we're leaving it that size, because this stuff will shrink. Think of a wool sweater or something like that in a dryer. It's going to shrink down with the heat. Same thing with this stuff. And no, you don't want to jam pack it full. You can have a little more full than this, but you don't want to jam pack it full. Now, just from my personal humble experience. Along with that, you're going to want some kind of metal object. We can use the canteen cup lid. At least in my case, in my kit, I carry that to cover the hole in the top of our lid so oxygen does not go back into our charred material and possibly cause it to ignite, thus ruining the char. Or we can use a nice thick piece of bark. Something like this that's relatively flat, going to block airflow into the container. Now, besides that, we're going to want a pair of tong sticks. Okay, you can make this actually tongs with cordage if you want to get that fancy, or you can just have two separate sticks. That's going to work great at grabbing that container, pulling it out of the fire so it don't burn your hand. So again, this fire's almost died down enough to where I'm going to use it for a project, and when that happens, we'll go on with that. Okay, so I broke this down a little bit, just kind of get us a nice spot for a tin. Okay, yep, that's going to work. So I'm going to make a little hole where our tin's going to sit. I'm going to still leave coals on the bottom. I'm going to push this in. I'm going to take some coals, whatever I can get from the fire. Make sure you don't cover that little hole. I'm going to let it do its job. I want that big one right there. Okay. Now, when this starts to work, let me extinguish that stick there. You're going to start seeing plumes of smoke come out of this hole. And it's now just a waiting game for this to happen. Okay, it's literally been like 10-15 seconds since I shut the camera off. You guys can see that little plume of smoke coming out of that hole. That's what you're looking for. You're going to know this is done when that smoke stops, and if flame shoots out the top, that's okay still. Just grab it out real quick and smack the top, extinguish the fire, and cover the hole up. And I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. Just want to do another little shot real quick, show you guys how much that's will come out with gas and smoke, because that's mostly gas right now coming out of that punk wood. All that moisture, whatever else is coming out of the gas form, is getting superheated as we speak right now. Okay. Got some flames in there. It's not great, but it's not detrimental. Whack it. Put the bark on top. What you're going to do here is you're going to let that tin cool down to the touch. And don't just come over and grab it. You want to touch the back of your fingers, back of your hand. Some places it's not a sensitive spot where you're handling tools with your hand. But I'm going to give this at least 10-15 minutes just on the cool ground like this. And then I'm going to come over and test it. Don't just test it right away. Don't be silly. Just let it sit for 10-15 minutes, maybe 20. Whatever's going to happen, then just come over real quick, test it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Alright, pretty easy to test if it's hot. You just kind of feel, don't touch it, but you can feel the heat. If there's anything radiating off of it. No? Okay, good to go. Alright folks, moment of truth. Let's see how this worked out. Okay, not too bad. There's some pieces in here that are pretty good. These lighter brown ones could probably go in a little bit longer. You can always throw this stuff back in and repeat the process, and then it'll come out more blackish, like these finer pieces right here. These are done. You guys can see definitely the contrast, hopefully so, between done, not done. This needs some more work, but that's okay. This would work in a pinch. And we'll do a little experiment. We'll test between these two right there, and I'll show you guys the difference. Alright, so we got our material here. Let's grab a random piece of not so great charred, and I'll grab one that's actually pretty decently charred so you guys can see a little closer. I'm going to use my awl on my other one here. Test her out just because I feel like it's a better thing to use. So let's get the spark to land on the material. Okay, now that did light on fire, but obviously it's because the ferrocene rod hit it. Let's see. It's dancing around a lot. The ember is not lasting, as you guys can hopefully see. So, let's get something that's a little more satisfactory. This piece right here will work. It actually feels lighter and more charred. So you guys can definitely see the difference there in the quality of the charred material. Try and get a... So if you already had, and you guys can see the sparks on there too, but if you had like a bird's nest, you can blow that to life. So that's pretty neat. I like that. I do like the fact I can show you guys the difference in the quality of the charred material as well. That actually worked out beautiful in this video. So as always guys, get out there, stay frosty, prep up. God bless.